Peace to everybody. This is about R. Kelly is indicted on federal charges of child pornography and transporting women and girls for sex. And of course, we all know I had broke the news last night that R. Kelly was arrested for sex abuse charges, and of course that is on my channel if you want to go check that out. But this is an update to it, and of course here in the video that I'm not going to play because I don't want to get blocked by YouTube, that R. Kelly, and of course he thinks he's all innocent, but he's not innocent. So now he got himself arrested last night while walking his dog. R. Kelly faces federal charges Friday after two indictments alleged that he made videos of himself having sex with minors, paid minors and their families to lie to investigators about allegations against him, and exposed one woman to a sexually transmitted disease without her knowledge. And so R. Kelly is facing federal charges today, and of course, he's going to be in court sometime this afternoon. And of course, there's two indictments alleged that he made videos of himself having sex with minors. There are videos out there with him having sex with minors, and of course he paid them and their families to lie to investigators. So R. Kelly is a liar. He's a puppet. He's with the Illuminati. Look up the word Illuminati, then you'll know what's going on. And to investigate about allegations against him, and of course exposed one woman had a transmitted disease without her knowledge. He never told the woman that he had a disease. He was arrested in Chicago Thursday night as he walked his dog, sources told CNN. Yeah, so he got arrested while he was walking his dog. What happened to the dog? I don't know, but whoever has the dog, please, they need to take care of that dog, because R. Kelly not going to see the dog anytime soon. A 5-count indictment in the Eastern District of New York accused Kelly, 52, of sexual exploration of a child, kidnapping, forced labor, and violations of the Mann Act involving the and transportation of women and girls in interstate commerce to engage in illegal sexual activity from 1999 to the present. Yeah, so R. Kelly is 52 years old, obviously. A 5-count indictment was charged on him, and of course the Eastern District of New York accused Kelly of 52 of sexual exploitation. There's a Mann Act involving the coercion and transportation of women and girls. So that's against the law right there. The Mann Act makes it a crime to transport anyone across state lines for the purpose of prostitution of any sexual activity, which is a criminal offense, according to the Department of Justice website. So the Mann Act has made it a crime to transport anyone across state lines, and that's exactly what R. Kelly did. He was transporting women and girls at the time to go from one state to another illegally, and it is a crime. R. Kelly's enterprise was not only engaged in music, as alleged. For 2 decades, the enterprise, at the direction of R. Kelly, preyed upon young women and teenagers whose dreams of meeting a superstar soon turned into a nightmare of rape, child pornography, and forced labor. The musician turned predator allegedly used his stardom to coax some victims into sex acts, while certain members of his enterprise culturally facilitated the aberrant conduct, said Homeland Security Special Agent in charge Angel Melendez said in a statement. So Angel Melendez is a special agent in charge, so and of course R. Kelly's enterprise was not only engaged in music, as alleged for 2 decades. The enterprise at the direction of R. Kelly preyed upon young women and teenagers, so he had sex against these women's will. He had raped them and everything else, and of course all these women came out and told their stories of what R. Kelly had done after they watched the document series Surviving R. Kelly. It turned into a nightmare of rape and child pornography, forced labor against these women and girls. Kelly has vehemently denied allegations of sexual misconduct in the past. And R. Kelly can keep denying all he wants, but all these women, they had came out with their stories, so it is believable to the women. They are telling their stories about what happened, and of course, with all of these allegations against R. Kelly, there's no way for him to run anywhere. The accusations in the New York indictment detail alleged incidents in 4 states: Illinois, Connecticut, California, and New York. There are 5 Jane Does referenced throughout, including 3 minors. Kelly is the only defendant in the indictment filed July 10th. So R. Kelly had transported these women and girls into Illinois, Connecticut, California, and New York, and including 3 minors. So that was a total disaster right there for what he has done. And he had no right to do that, but he did it against their will. And of course, R. Kelly is guilty as sin. He's a child predator. That's who he is, and he could say, "Oh, I'm not a child predator. I didn't do it." Guess again. The indictment also alleges he exposed at least one individual to a sexually transmitted disease without disclosing it. So he did not tell the one of the girls that he had a sexually transmitted disease. And you know how disgusting that is? It is sickening. Also on Friday, a 13-count indictment against Kelly was released in the Northern District of Illinois. So yeah, of course, there's a 13-count indictment against Kelly. It's in the Northern District of Illinois. In it, he was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to receive child pornography, 2 counts of receiving child pornography, 4 counts of producing child pornography, 5 counts of incitement of a minor to engage in criminal sexual activity, and 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice. There's going to be charges piled on all over the place. There is no way for him to get out of these. There is no way for him to get out of these charges whatsoever, because you got received child pornography, 2 counts of receiving child pornography, 4 counts, 5 counts. Yeah, he's definitely going to be gone for a long time. If these judges would just learn to get this trial started and get this man in jail. That indictment alleges Kelly made child pornography was as many as 4 girls under the age of 18, and that he and associates obstructed justice by paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to not cooperate with authorities, give false testimony to a grand jury, and to buy back videos of sexual activities. So these families were paid off to not say anything. They wanted the families to lie, but it's not going to work anymore because, when the charges catch up to you, you're going to get arrested, like it or not. It don't matter who you are. Kelly's attorney said the allegations appear to be the same as the conduct previously alleged against R. Kelly in his current state indictment and his former state charges. And you know what? R. Kelly's attorney need to go sit his butt down somewhere because you know what? He's just not a good lawyer at all. He's an idiot. He's saying, oh, it's the same as before. Excuse him, but who died and left him, boss? He and his lawyers look forward to his day in court, to the truth coming out, and to his vindication from what has been an unprecedented assault by others for their own personal gain. Attorney Steve Greenberg said Friday in a statement. Most importantly, he looks forward to being able to continue to making wonderful music and perform for his legions of fans that believe in him. Well, Steve Greenberg is saying, Friday in a statement. Now he's trying to in a statement that most importantly he looks forward to being able to continue to make wonderful music. No, he won't, because R. Kelly is guilty as sin and nobody's going to want to be around him. And of course he and his lawyers look forward to his day in court. Well, today's the day. He's got to go to court today before he goes to New York City to face charges there. Kelly had been out on bond from state charges in Illinois. The singer is being held Friday in the Federal Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago, according to U.S. Bureau of Prisons record. He will appear Friday afternoon for a removal hearing at the federal courthouse in Chicago and be arraigned at a later date in Brooklyn, according to a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. So now R. Kelly is held in a correctional center in Chicago, and the two girls that live with him, they better not bail him out, because you know what? They were brainwashed as well by R. Kelly. He brainwashed them girls. Oh, don't tell your families. Tell your families some kind of lie. Well, you know what? Not this time. He will appear Friday afternoon for a removal hearing at the federal courthouse in Chicago. And of course, there's got to be a later date in Brooklyn that he will have to face charges in New York City. The New York Police Department, Homeland Security Investigations, and other federal partners assisted in Thursday's arrest, a law enforcement source said. So they assisted on the arrest Thursday night. Authorities allege Kelly and other members of the enterprise, described in the New York complaint as Kelly and his managers, bodyguards, drivers, personal assistants, and members of his entourage, arranged for the women and girls to travel out of town to see Kelly on occasion, including at concerts. So yeah, all these people took place with R. Kelly of having all these girls transported in and out of states that were underage. He was not supposed to do that at all, but of course everybody involved with R. Kelly, I hope they all get indicted too and arrested right along with him. When the women arrived at the lodging, they were usually provided with instructions, and Kelly created numerous rules that his sexual partners were required to follow. They could not leave their rooms without Kelly's permission, including to eat or go to the bathroom. They had to wear baggy clothes when not accompanied by Kelly. They could not look at other men, and they had to address Kelly as Daddy. the indictment said. So yeah, so R. Kelly was definitely controlling these women when they was young. They were not allowed to eat. They were not allowed to go to the bathroom. So how? I mean, where would they have to go to the bathroom if you have to go? Uh, Jeez. And they, of course, they had to wear baggy clothes when not accompanied by him. He is a sick child predator, and they were not allowed to look at other men. Come on, if I were these women should have told him to buzz off, but they didn't because they were scared of him, and they had to call him daddy. Really? Oh, that is so sick. It's alleged Kelly and his associates obtained sensitive information about members and associates of the enterprise to maintain control over them, demanded absolute commitment to Kelly, and isolated women and girls from friends and family, making them dependent on Kelly for their financial well-being. So R. Kelly and his associates obtained sensitive information about members. You know how sick that is? And and of course, the girls were isolated from friends and family. They were not allowed to see them ever. They had to do what he says or else. So I'm glad R. Kelly got arrested. I'm glad that he's getting charges filed against him finally. Until Thursday, Kelly was free on a $1 million bond set in February. Well, you know what? That bond's not going to be around very much longer because it's going to be revoked. He has faced accusations of abuse, manipulation, and inappropriate encounters with girls and young women for more than 2 decades. So he has faced accusations of abuse, manipulation, and inappropriate encounters as well with the girls. He was charged in February with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 alleged victims, including 3 who were prosecutors say were underage girls. The charges span from 1998 to 2010. Kelly pleaded not guilty. So, R. Kelly could plead not guilty all he want back then, but it doesn't make him not guilty now because, all these charges are hopefully going to stick this time. He posted the $100,000 bail and left Chicago's Cook County Jail less than 3 days after he was arrested. He was arrested and jailed again in March to failure to pay his ex-wife child support of $161,000. And but now that R. Kelly got all the child support paid off, I guess they could write that off now. But the $100,000 bail, and that was a pretty big amount of money that he had to pay out, or whoever had to pay it out for him to bail him out of jail. In late May, a grand jury indicted him on 11 more charges pertaining to one of the 4 accusers, including aggravated criminal sexual assault, a Class X felony, and criminal sexual assault, a Class 1 felony. A person convicted of Class X felonies can get up to 30 years in prison under Illinois law. So R. Kelly can face 30 years in prison under Illinois law, but New York City, they want to get his charges and indict him before these 30 years in prison can be set to him. Kelly's publicist, Daryl Johnson, was taking questions at a news conference in Atlanta Friday morning when the family of Jocelyn Savage, 23, one of Kelly's girlfriends, started yelling, "Where's my daughter at? Answer that question." And so Jocelyn's family, they want to know where their daughter is. And Daryl Johnson needs to answer that question. Timothy Savage, Jocelyn Savage's father, said Friday that he hasn't seen his daughter since 2016 and hasn't spoken to her since a July 2017 conference call in which she asked him to stop trying to contact her. Yeah, so the father is really upset as well because he said he hasn't seen his daughter since 2016 and hasn't spoken to her until since 2017. So you know how upset the family is. They want their daughter back. We want answers, and we want them now, Timothy Savage said. He and other parents allege Kelly has controlled their daughters' lives and manipulated them into cutting off contact with the outside world, including their families. So yeah, that's exactly what R. Kelly did. He cut the girls off from their families. He didn't want them to contact them. He didn't want the girls to let them know that they're being held against their will because, R. Kelly is a child predator and you know what that'll happen. I know nothing, Johnson said to the family. He promised to meet with them privately after the news conference. Johnson said Kelly is innocent and that the indictments were a rehash of previous charges. First of all, Kelly is not innocent. No, 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 no. He is not innocent. R. Kelly is guilty as sin. And Johnson is saying he knows nothing about anything that went on. Yes, he does know because he's been brainwashed as well. So who is he kidding to deny everything? This is nothing new. We expected this to happen, Johnson said. So yeah, he's saying this is nothing new. They expected it to happen. Well, R. Kelly is guilty, and now that he's been arrested last night, I am praying that these charges will stick this time and that R. Kelly will stay in jail this time because, getting out on bond, no. These judges really need to make sure R. Kelly is in jail by not giving him a bond at all because he don't deserve to be out here on these streets running around going after little girls, this and that, and transporting them from state to state because that is against the law right there. And so that's probably what he got arrested for in the first place last night, transporting women from this state, that state, that state. It's disgusting what he does to them. Leave your comments below. I am out.